Hello and welcome to a very special chat on this month's theme, Love That Makes Us Human. Not just romance, attraction, affection, but empathy, care, humanity, inclusion, which treats each one of us as equal. This is a love that does not see disabled people as persons dependent on society. It sees them as empowered individuals. Today we have with us mother-daughter duo, Dr. Shayama Chona and Tamana Chona. Thank you all so much for joining us today on this very interesting conversation on inclusion. Ma'am, Dr. Chona, I would like to start with you first. You're the only school educator in our country who has been bestowed with both, in fact, the Padma Shri 1999 and even the Padma Bhushan in 2008. But above all, you're a mother and a woman. How was it to raise a child with special needs? And since we're talking about love, what role did love really play in bringing up Tamanna?
As a teacher, I once asked the children, what are the 7 wonders of the world? So different children gave me different answers. One said the Canyon, Grand Canyon, another said the Great Wall of China, another one said the Taj Mahal. But there was another little girl who was sitting in a corner and writing something. I said, Beta, why don't you tell? So I said, ma'am, I have so many. What should I tell? But for me to feel, to touch, to hear, to taste, to see, to laugh. And finally, ma'am, I think the greatest wonder of the world is to love. And I learned so much from her. And if I have reached anywhere, it's out of love of Tamanna for the world, for me, and my love for all the kids who are special on earth, because they have love which is totally it's not at all complicated. It is not at all it's so pure, and this purity of love gets them going.
Actually, like you rightly said, love keeps us going, and love that is unconditional, like you were saying.
Yes.
Tamanna, you have defied all odds, born with cerebral palsy. You couldn't walk till 10 years of age. And then today you're dancing, you run marathons, you're a nursery teacher in a very reputed school in the capital. Tell us, you're also doing TED Talks today. How did you achieve so much? I mean, and what role did your family play in what you are today with so many accomplishments?
Actually, it's all thanks to my parents. It's all thanks to my family members who helped me. I've come a long way. I'm learning dancing online. I'm learning Spanish. I'm learning block printing also in the school, in Tamana school.
Yes.
And I'm on the board of the school, of the Tamana Association School. And the school is named after me only. And basically, it's like I was born with cerebral palsy, delayed milestones. I had floppy limbs. My head was, I couldn't hold my head high. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. Now,
today you've achieved so much.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you're really an inspiration, and you've also authored a book in which we are going to be talking about, during this conversation. Dr. Chona, you've been a principal for nearly 2 decades. You've closely worked with students. In fact, you've changed the mindset of education, when we talk about integration and inclusion of the disabled. Ma'am, tell us, how important do you think it is to inculcate sensitivity and the idea of inclusion from a young age?
Actually, it's so important that we expose the young ones, the younger generation, to kids with a difference. Actually, there is a division in our country or anywhere in the world, blacks and whites and poor and rich. And this is another kind of division where people who are a little different are not recognized in regular schools. They haven't got the facilities. There isn't that understanding among the children, the parents, or the teachers how to create an inclusive classroom. So my first student, even before Tamana joined, I had a blind student, and when he would go around my society, the Society of DPS was a little wary that how will a blind child, but 50 more followed. They were all blind. And they were such a great, what should I say, group of kids that every kid wanted to be their friend. They wanted to hold their hand. They wanted to reach them to the bus. They wanted to help them get down from the bus, hand to the parent. It's an opportunity. If you don't, if you just shut them up in the cupboards and under the bed, then who is going to know who's who? So I think the first most important thing with the government of India is also started now, is also in the NEP, is inclusion, and we have to include all minds into a classroom and create that atmosphere where there is love, love, and love. This is the season of love, and I think yours is a wonderful program where saying love is unconditional, and love is what Tamanna is all about.
Absolutely, ma'am. You've put it so well. In fact, we've seen, as Tamanna was saying, her accomplishments, she inspires, motivates so many when we talk about inclusion, leaving no one behind. Tamanna, you have essayed so many roles in your life. You've essayed many roles. You've recently written a book. Tell us about the book, and how did you really think about writing a book? What motivated you?
Actually, the person behind this, her name is Aditi. So Aditi once told me, "Come on, Tamanna, let's write a book." And I with the guiding light on my head, she used to come to school every day to Tamanna. Then she used to take out printouts to take out. She used to tell me that Tamanna, is this photo okay or no?
Yeah.
Is this page okay for the book or no? Then we usually I write blogs. Usually I write my day-to-day thoughts.
Your journal.
No, blog.
Yes.
So that really inspired me.
Yes.
And then basically this went to the publisher, the book. So we gave it to different schools, to Lotus Valley, to DPS Gurgaon, everybody. And my book is the talk of is the talk of the town now. And you'll be so surprised to know that it's all thanks to Aditi and my mom, who have helped me to write this book.
Absolutely. I think like how Aditi inspired you. Of course, like, you're telling about your mom, but your mom must be, and your parents, your family, you were telling me your brother, his children are so supportive, your sister-in-law. So, I think it's amazing that, the kind of support which you've got. And of course, it's a proud moment for the family. Dr. Chona, if I can ask you, you did talk about inclusion. Of course, love is the most important. We've seen how your love for Tamanna has raised her to be such a, individual who who's doing extremely well. And, she's encouraging so many people. But tell me, how important is school environment and infrastructure? How can it be made more disabled friendly? In fact, back in the 90s, you had written a letter to the Queen of England, to secure land for the special school in Basant Vihar. So take us through your journey, and how far do you think we've come? Because you've been working on this, on this for years now, for decades, in fact.
Yeah. So let me just begin that my life begins and ends with Tamanna, my daughter. Would not have got all the awards in the world, not that they mattered to me, but for her. I was a different person. But this childbirth was so special. And my little son then was 2 years and 9 months when Tamanna came into our life. Even he became a part of our journey. And at the age of 2.9, he would look after her. Believe you me, all my students in DPS were actually babysitting Tamanna while I was teaching. It was a sight to see. And slowly, this became like an infection. Everybody wanted to me closer to. I realized in life that love is something which is actually so precious. It's not all contaminated. If it is for no if you're not wanting to get anything out of it, but it just happens. So the purity that I received from Anna, because she was not judgmental and she had a smile. And I think smile is the first cynosure of love. And when she smiled, I think it seemed like she's smiling love. And as we went on into the journey of DPS, where I was there for nearly over 35 years, I realized that every child that passed out of my hands was a friend of Tamanna. And then when she became a teacher there, she's been there for 20 years now. Can you imagine? She's 52 now. So when all those kids who passed out from her in the nursery are now studying or working in big companies, big firms, and the first word that comes to me on my Facebook or on my, whenever they contact me, how is Tamanna? So Tamanna has become like a figure which proves that nothing matters. All that matters is love. And if you are ready,
No, in fact, like you said about love, and ma'am, even if I ask you about infrastructure, because you really brought about a change, not only in the mindsets, how can we make it more disabled friendly?
So I think we are very disappointed with the movement needs to become faster, and programs like yours will make it happen. There is very little that is available, for people to understand. I started a program where I wanted to send these children to the, homes of regular children. The children were accepting, the students of DPS were accepting our kids, but the parents were not. The schools still don't have ramps, they don't have lifts, they don't have special teachers. Now imagine a class which is inclusive, has a blind, a deaf, a child who cannot speak, a child who is, autistic or Down syndrome, and the teacher is not trained. So slowly now in the B.Ed course, now which is a 4-year course, they are bringing in, disability understanding and inclusion, requirements for the teachers to understand how to accommodate these children socially, emotionally, physically into the classroom. The physical structure is really, really important.
Yeah. In fact, so I'm glad to hear that, of course, a lot more needs to be done, but at least we've started thinking about it. And obviously, it is need of the hour. It's critical. Also, before I asked Tamanna about the school, obviously she's the heart and soul behind Tamanna. I was reading about that. The NGO Tamanna, it works towards the welfare and rehabilitation of specially able kids. Dr. Chona, tell us, how much have we changed as a society? You've been working, you founded this NGO way back in 1984. So again, also tell us what Tamanna NGO does and why is it important to leave no one behind?
1984, we were registered, and I wrote a letter to the Queen of England, and everybody said, "You're mad." Then I was just a teacher, asking her to come and inaugurate our second session, our first building. We didn't even have land. When we got the land, the residents of Vasant Vihar took us to the court, and they said, "How can you have a school for mad people?" There was no Disability Act. There was an act which did not specify disability. It was an act for the mad people. So LM Singhvi stood for us, and finally we got the land. And can you imagine, Lady Diana came to inaugurate our school. Then we were in huts. We had no money for the building. So the moment everybody heard that Lady Diana is coming, even the minister came. And everybody from the departments of the different relevant education, special education. And this was the first special school in Delhi, and maybe some part of India. And then from there, the journey began. Now there are so many special schools, and Tamanna itself is running 7 courses for, we have a training center for teachers, getting them ready to teach in regular schools. It's important for every school to have a special teacher. But one teacher is not enough. Every teacher has to be a special teacher. Every school has to have. Now, coming back to Tamanna, I feel a little guilty talking about my own organization, but the fact still remains that we have a long way to go. We are educating not only the disabled, but we are also educating the very poor disabled, for which we need funding. The funding is a very huge problem. And I think each time we do a fashion show every year, which is a fundraiser, and in the British High Commission, we do one very, very big, Christmas carnival, where we raise funds for the poor children and for the most latest facilities. All of this is becoming known to the people of Delhi, India. It's covered in the newspapers, everything. But I fully agree with you that we have a long way to go. I can't but help congratulating you, Ambika, for having thought of love and disability, which is the best, what should I say, togetherness. Because where there is love, there is no disability. There is only ability.
That's so beautiful.
Why? Because we become enabled.
Yeah, I think key here is about
them. The disability is not with them. Disability is in our minds.
Yeah.
And the moment we start thinking better of them, with love, they will be respected, and there will be greater harmony, joy, peace, and atmosphere on earth.
In fact, it was, of course, your love, your determination, your dedication, and as a family, as a mother, where Tamanna couldn't walk, and today look what she's accomplished. Tamanna, you, of course, are the heart and soul behind Tamanna, the school. Tell us, you inspire so many people, right? I mean, you've done so much. How do you, like at the school, at Tamanna school, how do you uplift the children's moods there? How do you play with them? How do you deal with the children in your school?
Actually, when I go to school, I get the children hug me. They want to play with me. Come, Tamanna, Didi, let's play. So I usually play with them. I teach them, and I tell them, come on, you're not alone. I'm with you. Actually, the I'm the heart and soul. You're right. Actually, the reason behind this, when all my friends come to Tamana school, I really like it, and when I meet the children also, they tell me, Tamana Didi, you have come. Oh my God, how wonderful is this? So I tell them, come on, let me drop you to your class. So I tell them, basically, I teach them that love is very infectious also, because it's Valentine's Day, and two people who stayed with us in when my mom was the principal of DPS Arkipuram, initially, and my uh, 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 and my best friend. Uh, uh, Her name is Sona. So
Okay.
so she so she so she has taught me many things also, and
And
I also thank Tara for organizing this interview, and and my
yes.
two nieces, Pratna and Kashvi,
Hmm.
have inspired me to what I am today, and my brother and his wife, and when I go to school, all the teachers come uh, uh, running, running. They tell me, Tamanna, come, let's talk. Come, Tamanna, let's do something or the.
So they all want to spend time with you. I mean, like clearly that, and like you said, love is infectious, right, ma'am? Like the way she's expressed it so beautifully. I mean, she summed it up really well. I think it's like the ripple effect. It's beautifully summed up. Thank you, Tamanna. Thank you, Dr. Chona, for actually sharing all this with us. I mean, of course, what Tamanna has said is really, I think put everything what we're trying to say. And of
Yeah.
course, ma'am,
And
you've summed it up really well.
Ambika, I want to tell one thing.
Sure.
Let this Valentine's Day be a special day for the family, my mom, dad,
Oh,
everybody,
thank you. Thank you for that message.
and
Thank you.
and for you also.
Thank you. Thank you. And for each one of us, I think. I mean, I think we can just spread so much love around us.